Yes, welcome back to 2025 here on Axel Racing. You join me once again on Assetto Corsa, a game that we haven't revisited for quite some time now. Before it was obviously exploring the cars, exploring the tracks, doing a little bit of gameplay through the career mode. What I'm back here to do today, and more specifically this year, is to cover pretty much all the tracks, and also cover some hot laps, do some top tips, do some track guides. But as you can guess from the title of this video, today is the very first of the series. It's a track guide. So let's load into the game. Love being back in this menu. Okay, so we're not here to do anything else other than just drive. It's going to be some practice laps. And we are going to go all the way back to the start here, around Barcelona. Of course we are. What an awesome track, and pre-selected the car. This is the quote-unquote Axel Racing liveried McLaren MP4-12C GT3 car. As you know from this channel, we absolutely love GT cars. And this is the only one in the game that came with a blue and orange livery, so it's not hard to find. They're not our exact colours, but for the purposes of these videos it will do. So let's hit the track. Okay, so here we are in the pit lane at Barcelona Circuit. We're here in the quote-unquote Axel liveried McLaren MP4-12C. And this is going to be a quick track guide and some tips and tricks. So without further ado, let's hit the track. Okay, doors closed, engines on, throttle responsive, brakes working, steering works, into gear, and away we go. Oh yeah, that's right at the end of the pit lane. Could have drove straight into that wall if you weren't careful. Away we go. There's always something fun about that first time you really hit the power as you leave the pit lane. So here we go on an out lap of the Barcelona circuit. We're just going to get a feel for our bearings. You know, your first out lap is never a flat out lap. It should be taken fairly easy just to get an idea of where the grip is, where your ideal braking zones are. And yeah, just warming up the car in general, so warming up the tyres, warming up the brakes. Make sure you get the car straight and put plenty of pressure into the brakes just to get them warmed up. Obviously don't scrub the car too much in the corners, but down the straights obviously get some heat into those tyres. There we go. Right, track surface is feeling good today. I've got a good feeling about it. Just got to work out where the braking point is for this. I believe it's just as those tyres disappear out of view in this car, which was just about right. Obviously we'd hit the brakes a little bit harder next time. But yeah, at speed as well, I imagine it's where that tyre wall ends on the right hand side. That's what you're also working out on your opening lap as well. It's just picking up brake markers and just trying to work out what's what. It always feels lovely to do it at a sort of 50% speed, but then you've really got to hit it at 100%. Whoa, don't take too much curb on the inside there. Anyway, so from what I can gather, this is going to be our walk-through lap. I'm just going to show you roughly where you should be, what gear you should be in, and how you should be attacking a hot lap of Barcelona. So you come down the start finish straight around about just before the 100-metre board. You'll be slamming it down to second gear, staying right out wide, use as much as the track, dip it into the first corner in second gear, hold it tight to the curb through turn 2 and short shift out to third gear as you come out of turn 2. Keep it wide on the outside of this corner now as you head into turn 3. It's a very long corner, and just let the car do the walk into the inside. Now as soon as that orange marker on the inside pulls up, you can really get on the throttle, change up to 4th and head on down the straight. You'll be looking for braking just in front of the bridge here, like so. It'll be down to 2nd. Once again, you want to kind of tip it in a little bit early, get an early apex, and then short shift through the corner and accelerate out quite quickly. Head over to the left hand side of the track towards the curbs, 4th gear, and then back over to the right, and as soon as you're straight, hit the brakes once again. Now you want to turn in just a little bit later, get a later apex here, otherwise you'll find yourself right out over here, and you will get a penalty and track limits violations and all that sort of stuff. Down to the next corner, obviously you're going to be in 4th gear. It's just before the curbs come up on your right. Down 1 gear, not too much curb on the inside, but plenty of curb on the outside. Ride that curb right up the hill, 4th gear, and then you can either just brake and knock off some speed, or what I like to do is I like to quickly change down gear and back up gear. That just gets the car rotating just that little bit more. You'll head down the back straight at full speed, 4th gear, 5th gear, and like I say, you're watching for this tyre wall on the right hand side. That's about your braking point where you're really going to slam on the anchors and get down to 2nd gear for what is possibly the slowest part on the track. Now be very gentle on the throttle leaving this corner, as you can spin up the wheels. It will get very dicey. Now this is obviously 3rd gear up here. You're going to coast it through these 2 corners. They are very long corners, these ones, but then as soon as you're on the power, and you're right out over here on this side of the track. As soon as that curb comes up on your right, it's brake down to 2nd gear and tip it right over the curb, get right back over to the right hand side of the track where you'll hit the brakes and change down to 1st. Get an early turn in here and a late turn in here to really open up the corner. And like you see on my opening lap, do not take the curb on the inside. You'll spin the wheels and possibly the car as well. So there we go, that completes it. That is a lap of Barcelona. I hope you enjoyed the video. No, we're not ending it there. We are going to attack it at a slightly faster pace again this time. So once again, watching for your brake marker just before the 100 metre board. It's down to 2nd gear. Really open up the corner. Hold it tight in turn 2. Short shift up to 3rd. Stay wide and let the car walk into the middle of the corner, and as soon as you see the orange bit, it's up to 4th and accelerate out of the corner. Now just before the bridge, you hit the brakes and it's down 1, down 2. Turn it in nice and early and then short shift up to 3rd and accelerate out mid corner. That will bring you right over to the outside here, then up to 4th. As soon as you're straight again, down to 2, but we want a late turn in here so we can take plenty of curb but not too much curb, and it just gives us the right angle to get a really smooth and quick exit. Just before the curb comes up here, it's down 1 into 3rd. No curb on the inside but plenty of curb on the outside, and right up to the curb on the left hand side. Now you can just slow down through 4th, or what I like to do is change down to 3rd and back up to 4th just because it rotates the car a little bit more. Obviously at slower speed you don't necessarily need that. Watching for the tyre wall. As soon as we passed it, as soon as it's out of sight, it's hard on the brakes down to 2nd, and gentle on the throttle on the way out of this corner, and up to 3rd, just so you can let the car roll through the corner. Out to the outside now. As soon as that curb appears on the right, it's hit the brakes down to 2nd, and over the curb we go, but we took a little bit of sausage curb there, so that wasn't ideal. It's a tight entry here and a wide open line here. Up to 2nd gear, 3rd gear, avoiding the curb on the inside, 4th gear, and down the start, finish straight. Now that's the end of the video. It's not, I'm sorry. Right, so we're going to hit it at a much faster pace now. Watching for that 100 metre board. Just before it, we brake down to 2nd gear. Turn it in nice and early, keep it tight for turn 1 and turn 2. Short shift up to 3rd gear on the way out, keep it wide on the entry to turn 3 and let the car walk back towards the middle. We've short shifted a bit too early there just before the marker came up, and we've lost a bit of speed. As you can see, that's how to do it and how not to do it. Before the bridge, it's down 2 gears, get a nice early turn in and short shift up through 3rd. fourth on the exit, move over to the right, get the car straight. As soon as you're straight, brake down 2 gears, turn it in nice and late. Get a really good turn on here and run out to the right hand side of the track where you will stay for the next corner. And just before the curb comes up, it's hit the brakes down 1 gear. Not so much curb on the inside, but plenty of curb on the outside. Just really opens up the corner. Back over to the left, up to 4th. I like to do a little quick downshift to 3rd and then back up to 4th. Over the curb and then right out wide to the outside. Down the back of the straight now. Watching for the tyres on the right hand side. As soon as they disappear, it's slam the brakes. Down to 2nd gear. Turn it in for the slowest part of the track. Gentle on the throttle on the way out. Up to 3rd gear just before you hit that curb. Tip it in, let the car roll through the corner, and then back on the throttle. Watch for the curb on the right hand side. As soon as we see it, we're braking, we're down to 2nd. We're trying not to take the sausage curb too hard, but then it's down to 1st for the last 2 corners. Really don't want to take the sausage curbs here. Want to open up the corners as much as possible. Then 2nd, 3rd, maybe even 4th gear by the time you've left the corner at just over 100 miles an hour. And down the start finish straight you go. And that does complete our lap around here. So I hope you enjoyed the track guide and the tips and tricks. Just something to bear in mind next time you're racing around this Barcelona circuit, whether it's in Assetto Corsa, Forza Motorsport, Gran Turismo, any game, it doesn't really matter. Assetto Corsa is just a really good sim to use for demonstration purposes. So yeah, thank you once again for watching, and we shall cover the next track in the next video. But before that, the next video will actually be a time attack session around here. So we'll possibly be doing about 3, maybe 4 laps around Barcelona to really set some pace using the things that I've taught here. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.